What a nice smell. What a nice
Smell,
smell.
my dear.
What a nice smell. Don't burn it, mate. You are listening to Reggae Kitchen.
Reggae kitchen.
Reggae kitchen. Reggae kitchen.
Reggae kitchen. Reggae kitchen. Reggae kitchen.
Reggae Kitchen.
And it's that time again. Good evening and welcome to Reggae Kitchen, your cookery experience with the reggae beat. Live on fusoradio.net from the Kirkstall Road studios. Today is Tuesday, 30th June 2015. We are here with my fellow conductors on the stove again. Good evening, Yucca.
Good evening.
Good evening, Miniman.
And good evening all.
Our chefs for the night. You can enter in the kitchen.
Hello.
And sadly, our last episode, we don't really know if Reggae Kitchen will be on the schedule for the next season. We will see. Saying that, I would like to thank you all our colleagues for the support and all our listeners and viewers. Maximum respect to everyone that follow us during this season. Do not forget, you can check the video on the show on YouTube and all other shows. So, Yuka, what we are cooking or not cooking tonight?
Exactly, we are not cooking much because we do a raw reggae kitchen, so there will be a couple of raw salad with a dressing, of course, raw.
We're gonna talk about the ingredients that makes you feel good, food that makes you feel good, which is saffron, and we are gonna have our wine tips with dolcetto red wine and ribolla gialla white wine. But after further ado, I would like to say that always Franco is on the control tower.
We got Franco.
You are in tune with fusoradio.net, and we're gonna play our next tune, our first tune, which will be the different tunes that we play all our season. Sizzla and UB40.
There is no time to waste. Still is so good. Get a yours. What you know? Get a yours. King Selassie. Ethiopia see now stretch out. To King Selassie I no more rocking on the boat. Things are get ready on the western coast. Enough of them are dead, you might think say a joke. Them have the money and still them can't float. I come to separate the sheep from the goat. Looking at the if you see a who about the church. Give them the chalice and them end up a talk. Can't burn the earth, them run guns and smoke. If fire the fire, then a who want the smoke. Give the youth the culture cause I me a promote. Them must come together, Rastafari and a joke. No take no talk, you know so say them a haze. Them come for store it up a corrupt what the big man create, yo. Tell them open up them face. Get a youth no hurry up because I King Selassie man a praise, yo. You know so say them a haze. Them come for store it up a corrupt what the big youth create, yo. Selassie open every gate. Big youth no hurry up because me no come here. Me still coming, know them gone. Jackie there me plant food and corn. The youths come first, so me no let it farm. I till the day them want make them a stun. Babylon be
Sizzla and UB40, this is the frequency of fusoradio.net, and you are in tune with Reggae Kitchen. I'm so excited for a non-cooking Reggae Kitchen, completely raw. And I'm very sad because this is the F8 episode, which is the last, and we don't know if Reggae Kitchen is gonna be on the next season. So tell me, ingredients.
Well, ingredients. So we're gonna have two raw salad. The first one ingredients are peppers, red peppers, celery, shallots, and then some dressing. Second salad is made by raw mushroom, shallots, thyme, and kelp. And
Sorry,
final.
chef, what is kelp?
kelp. Oh, kelp. Sorry, kelp is a seaweed. Actually, this one then we gonna eat tonight is from Iceland, so it's quite an organic kelp. So it's one of the superfood like nori or other Japanese seaweed or more spirulina, chlorella. Then have a lot of zinc and a lot of property. And then the final dressing is going to be basically we're gonna put on both salad, and it's gonna made by saffron, which is the food that make you feel good, or the food of the king. Let's discover this a bit later. Then we're gonna have the shallots, the spring onions, and this black salt with chili, with some other dressing, most probably with olive oil and a little bit maybe of lemon.
As you said, we are gonna have our usual food that makes you feel good report, which is saffron this time, and we're gonna have our wine tips with red wine dolcetto from Piedmont and ribolla gialla from Friuli Venezia Giulia. Gigi is gonna talk about that. How do you feel, Gigi?
Very excited about all this raw food, especially because my preparation and my help in hand is gonna be very limited, because I'm just gonna wash up the vegetables, which I did previously with the pepper that Carlo is slicing right now, and I'll do some peeling and washing of the mushroom. And of course, the food that makes you feel good, which we're gonna talk about shortly, is gonna be saffron, but all this food will make you feel very, very good, and especially the kelp. I'm very curious to taste this new seaweed and all the other ingredients which are strictly raw for this show.
Strangely but true, we're not gonna really cook tonight. We're gonna chop a lot and season a lot and use a lot of dressing, which we did like last time where we did raw fish, where we did carpaccio, tartare and ceviche. It's very interesting, especially for the vegetarian lover and the vegan lover or the Rasta listener. I'm gonna keep saying thanks for our listener to, obviously listen and watch our video on YouTube, which is very satisfying. But Franco Maite is on the control tower. We're gonna go with the next tune, which is one of my favorite of the season. Chronics with Inner Circle, old tune of Jacob Miller, Tenement Yard.
I say he that keepeth his mouth, they shall belong. I never ask you, not know what you tell me. I beg you daily to cease and still you keep talking. Me granny tell me from your little baby, he that keepeth his mouth shall stay out of problem. Hear me? It seems like you is a news carrying jail, so I ain't carrying on. Same out that chatter with me will chatter of me, murder rap big informer. Oh, your mouth I go put you in a problem. Problem. Whoa. Hey. Oh, I said your mouth I go put you in a problem. Oh, yes. You a go ball, say see a kaya mouth. You a go weak, say see a kaya teeth. Creation make a ball, see a kaya mouth. Every thief is a liar, every liar is a thief. Yes. Remember you tell me, Teflon hate me. Say what? Then you tell Teflon can excite him like a dose of poison. Don't believe you, you're wicked. Oh man, yes. You tell me woman, say me have another lady. Then you tell me, say she have a man will live a high rise. Murder Mount Amasi. I saw me know you is a news carrying jail. So I ain't carrying on. No, same out that chatter with me will chatter of me mount murder of big informer. Oh,
Inner Circle and Chronics, Tenement Yard Rhythm, one of the best tunes between 2014 and 2015 of this season of Reggae Kitchen. We are here on the last episode, number 8, on the frequency of fusoradio.net. You can check on the web, fusoradio.net, and you can check all our programs, all our shows. So Yuka, what are you doing? I can see it's gonna be a lot of cutting tonight, so I show you how to cut the peppers, but you know.
Well, exactly. I've got some advice before, obviously, from the main chef, which is the mighty Dop. And I'm cutting the pepper for the first salad. So I want to see that maybe we have done this Reggae Kitchen with raw food just for main one reason. Because if you don't cook the food, it's going to keep all the nutrients and the ingredients of all kind of vegetables. And now we are doing this pepper salad, so I'll show you, I'm sure that you've seen on YouTube myself cutting the pepper right now. And I show how to cut the pepper, which is a bit slightly in a very thin slice, after cutting in a 4-part the pepper and peel it from all the seeds and everything that is inside. And we're gonna do some little layer of pepper. We're gonna put on top some lemon just to cook a bit the raw food. And then we're gonna go with the celery, which we show in a minute how to cut as well, which is maybe one of the most important things when we eat raw salad. Because if you eat maybe big chunky pieces, you know, you're gonna feel maybe too much one ingredients above all. And then we're gonna have this actually very original dressing with saffron to cover both salads. So I'm cutting the peppers.
Sorry chef, I thought you were putting balsamic vinegar on top and some lemon, and the other one is to accompany all the other salads. It's not really a dressing, it's more like a little sauce that you put on top if you want, because also, as we said, the mushroom is gonna have another dressing on top, so it's all different dressing. Yeah?
Thank you, chef. That's what we say, you know, both raw salad, they're gonna have a dressing, which just Mighty Dog mentioned, and then they're gonna have the main dressing.
Tell me, I know you wanna say something.
Chef, this is a question for you. Carlo mentioned that the raw vegetables has to be cooked very thinly, so one flavor doesn't prevail overall. But
Yes.
is it important for your tummy, for your stomach, not to get upset to have a finely chopped vegetable?
Well, I would say that it's better to cut it really fine so you can really, you know, the ingredients can melt together. No, I mean, for your stomach, once it's in your stomach, the acid of the stomach is going to burn it and melt it down. So it doesn't really matter. Obviously, if it's thinner, it's going to do it quicker. But, you know, it's not a big deal. Next tune, one of the best also for season 2014-2015, we Raging Fire with Ja Glory.
You are listening to Reggae Kitchen.
And don't you worry, my people, don't you ever forget. Give Jah the glory with every single step that you take now. So don't you worry, my people, don't you ever forget. No. Give Jah the glory with every single breath that you take now. My people don't fuss, my people don't fight. Haile Selassie, some said Jesus Christ. My people don't fuss, my people don't fight. Genesis, Revelation, everything right. My people don't fuss, my people don't fight. Oh, we should all unite. My people don't fuss, my people don't fight. Don't worry, my people, don't you ever forget. Give Jah the glory with every single step that you take now. So don't you worry, my people. take now. Jah love higher than the mountains, it's deeper than the rivers, wider than the valleys. Yeah, Jah love, share with everybody. Your mommy and your granny, the little baby in the belly. Well, we've been down in this valley for a very long time.
The Glory of Jah, or Jah Glory from Raging Fire, one of the best group from the island of Jamaica.
To my brothers, don't you be.
If you just digit now, you're in tune with FusoRadio.net on the kitchen of Reggae Kitchen. Our food that makes you feel good is saffron. Gigi, please tell me.
Saffron is one of the highly prized spices known since antiquity for its color, flavor, and medicinal properties. It is dried stigma or threads of the flower of the Crocus sativus plant. This exotic spice is native of the southern Europe and today is cultivated worldwide in many countries, particularly in Spain, Italy, France, Greece, Turkey, Iran, and the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. The saffron, of course, has health benefits. It contains several plant-derived chemical compounds that are known to have been antioxidant, disease-preventing, and health-promoting properties. Induces antioxidants that cure stress, can cure cancer, infections, and acts as immune modulators. These active components in saffron have many therapeutic applications in many traditional medicine as antiseptic, antidepressants, antioxidant, digestive, and anticonvulsants. This novel spice is a good source of minerals like copper, potassium, calcium, manganese, iron, selenium, zinc, and magnesium. Potassium is an important component of cell and body fluids that help control heart rate and blood pressure. Additionally, saffron is also rich with vitamins, vital vitamins, including vitamin A, folic acid, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin C, and is essential for optimum health.
God, this spice has got everything.
Every food that makes you feel good has all their properties, they are whole medicine healing, and they are very good for you, of course. That's why we talk in the show.
Maybe tonight even a bit more, as it's called, in the ancient Persia, the king of spice, the saffron, and it's quite one of the most expensive spice, actually.
Yeah, they used to call it gold. Before trading with gold, they used to trade with saffron on the time of Marco Polo, on the Venetian Empire. And then still now, it's very, very, very expensive. I'm gonna go with the next tune, which is Protégé, Savannah, and Jesse Royal, Sudden Flights, one of the biggest tune ever of 2015.
From the streets of Jamaica coming live and direct. Proud to dig it there, we no need no mic check. Stepping at the place, nobody disrespect. Just I want to get the youths about the choice for them I make. Ooh. Lordy, lordy, now join no party. Look what the politician them do to Claudy. Look what the politician them do to Jim. Him son resurrect it and look what them do to him. Cause they will use and dispose of you, those who are close to you. If you choose to tread the road, So brother, if you are tonight, carry the scars of a coffee. I carry the fire of a Melchizedek. When your mind get a chance, represent. Cause you might have no past, the present. So, not take them last, love your past, then resent. So, want make it fast, so them last every cent too. So we go back to the ancient ways, untold secrets that remained unchanged. Mentally get unchained, I want goal, I want aim at the same what you're saying.
Got to stay true to the things you know are right. Nothing worth the gain you attain by sudden flight. Rather keep your goals in sight.
True.
Even in the darkest night. Have faith in the Father, the one who shines your light.
Mercy me, them corrupt and covetous sneaker from me. I they am in here, one thing that you say. The intellect a play up on the poor poverty. Nobody now dance to a two-party. Oppression, brainwashing and nefarious schemes to keep the have-nots where they think they are to be. I man, your promises are better when the poll time close. Then back to the same after we not announce. Rocks down a river bottom, never know say so not. So many of me brother them trapping at the blind. Black full of shot but no food. in a pot, what kind of liberty that? I and I Allah straight up, wake up, sons of Jacob, lay down their arms, real tools if they take up, stay up, wake up, sons of Jacob, time to show the cowards what we made of.
Got to stay true to the things you know are right. Nothing worth the gain you attain by sudden flight. Sister, keep your goals in sight. Even in the darkest night, have faith in the Father, the one who shines your light.
So you've made it, tell me what's the basis? Thinking it's so basic, cruising in the A6. No, that's an illusion in the matrix. When you miss the payments, they gon' come and claim it. You have to be focused, keep the brain fit, keep the flame lit, never twist it when you aim it. So what I'm saying, simple and it plain, it all look the same when it flushing down the drain. Watch them as them strutting up the lane with the rope, gold chain, chrome supping in a hand. Look up on them face.
Protégé, Savannah, Jesse Royal, Sudden Flight, one of my favorite tunes of 2015. If you just click now, this is foodsalright.net and this is Reggae Kitchen. Carlo, what are you doing? Tell me.
Well, I'm crying a bit because I'm cutting the shallots, but it's almost ready, the first salad, before the dressing. So you see the way then we cut, like in a longitudinal way. If you are after you cutting for the peppers, we do a different cutting for the celery, and we put plates, we cut in not in a straight way, so we're gonna have like some thin slice, and now we're doing a very thin chopping of the shallots, and we place in a plate one on top of the other one, and once we finish with the shallots, we're gonna put the thyme and the lemon and leave it a bit, as we said, to cook while we're preparing the other salad.
No, you're wrong. The time goes on the the time goes on the mushroom. What we're gonna put on top is just balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper, and lemon.
To cook, can you explain me how the lemon cooks the raw vegetable?
But the lemon is an acid, so obviously whatever you put lemon on will superficially cook the first layer or whatever you put on the lemon. So it could be a fish, could be meat, could be vegetables, could be anything, even, you know, and you can put lemon juice on lime and they both gonna cook each other. But it's very nice. I'm very interested. You know what, I'm gonna go with a question which are very strange, but okay. What's your favorite raw veg, Yucca?
Wow, this is quite a difficult question. Maybe pepper.
Gigi?
Tomato.
Tomato. Another one?
Another one is maybe celery. I like celery very much.
Which is the veg or fruit that you will never eat in your life ever? Which, I mean, that one that you don't really like, that, you know, first time you see it is like, no, I'm not gonna eat that.
My top, you know that smelly fruit that they sell in Thailand and in Southeast Asia. It's so smelly that I cannot really remember its name.
Do you remember the name? Dragon fruit? No.
No, it's not dragon fruit. It's something else. I'll do my research, but I wouldn't eat a smelly fruit.
What about you, Yucca?
Well, I think it was the beetroot. At the beginning, I didn't like, and then I love it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the next tune. I'm gonna ask you the last question after this lovely tune of my Bridgen.
The Duran. The Duran.
My Bridgen Christopher Ellis. Big up to all the Ellis family, Novella and Dean. The tune is called Roller Coaster, and if you just digit now, this is Reggae Kitchen.
Roller coaster, but this ain't
of your vibration and keep your feet firm on the ground. So if you can't be good, I beg you, please be careful. Do what you wanna do with no regret. If you can't be good, I beg you, please be grateful. Don't hold out what you give, you get. If you can't be good, please be careful. Do what you wanna do. Know what you wanna do. Yeah. You can't be good, I beg you. Please be grateful. Don't hold out. Don't hold out. Come one and all, gather round. It's got ups and downs.
It's a roller coaster, says Christopher Ellis. You're in tune with FusoRadio.net on the frequency of Reggae Kitchen. We almost there, finishing the first dish, Carlo, yes?
Yes, exactly. We put in the dressing for the first dish. So to give a bit of recap, is all very thin chopped: pepper, celery, shallots, garlic, and then some dressing oil, lemon, pepper, and salt.
So tell me, the next one, what will be?
Well, the next one it will be all about mushroom, and we're gonna start to chop the mushroom. Very important things, as Gigi have done for me, but I can show you one, is about how to peel the mushroom before you eating raw, and you peeling like cutting from the
Use the tool, Yucca. Use the tool. It's much better.
So I'm gonna ask you,
Well, I use my
why we are peeling the mushroom?
Well, because the external skin, I guess, is a bit dirty. So instead of washing, to do not lose any flavor of the mushroom, which I knew, then you shouldn't wash the mushroom. You should just make it a bit humid to take off a bit dust from the top of the mushroom. But in this case, we peel it, so we are more clean, and we take off a bit apart, and
Can I tell you why?
Tell me.
Okay, we take the skin out of the mushroom obviously for hygienic reason, and obviously you never wash the mushroom. You can clean them with a wet cloth, but also because if you take the skin out, the mushroom is not going to be bitter. So usually if you cook it, the bitterness goes away, but if you eat it raw, you need to peel it.
Wonderful piece of information, Mighty Dop.
What do you want, Gigi? Shall we talk about wine or something?
Yeah, we can talk about wine, but I wanted to show a tool, the peeler. Yucca is taken away from my hands, I don't know for what reason, and he majestically did with his hands. He just peeled the mushroom with his hands, but if you are struggling, you can use the peeler. It's much easier and quicker, I would say.
Well, I would say that this instrument is quite good for raw food when you need to do the shape of pasta like spaghetti, and you use for courgette or other vegetable. While for mushroom, I prefer to use my hand. Gigi.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna play the next tune, Franco Monital.
New breed of hybrid.
Thanks for Franco Monitor on the control tower. As always, Brixton Talks, Reggae Kitchen, Reggae Espresso, everywhere, directly from Brighton, every night, every time we have to do live.
Working class, hard working class, like yourself,
from
Mighty
Liverpool.
Dop. I would like to thank the chef Mighty Dop for his brilliant suggestion and secret sharing with us during all the season of Reggae Kitchen, and also for this brilliant music that we are listening tonight, and we've been listening all through the season of Reggae Kitchen. Next
tune, Damian Marley, Gunman World. This I want to dedicate to all my Brixton crew.
Two sides to a coin, and one must choose which side they join, you know, brother man. Yeah, and meanwhile one man need is another man poison. Mankind will do what they must to survive, innit? Hear me now. In a gunman world, any night in clock he not work. Marrow splatter, the toolbox full, the magazine in a the 2 Glock full. And he's watching as the days go by, and he's counting as his peers all die. Sleeping with the rifle across his chest, and so he never gets a good night's rest. And then he's cranky in the morning times, and more victims have to lose their lives. The community a twist and twirl, wishing that I wasn't in a gunman world. In a gunman life, he might not come home from work one night, so every minute matter ignores advice from his weeping baby mother and child, that he won't win every game he plays. So she know we'll meet his end one day. Some juvenile will have to earn his stripe and have to take another gunman's life. What if a backstabber names his price? And how ironic if him dead from night. The amount of bullet where him put bomb boy, job description, kill and destroy. Oh yeah, oh. Now tell me, is it worth it all? If one done rise, then the next must fall. Tell me, is it worth it all? Those sleepless nights on patrol roll call. Tell me, is it worth it all? One child smile while the next one ball. Tell me, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it all? Well, in a gunman world, life is so stressful. Back to school time come. Cause when a gunman work, if he is successful and the job is well done, then there will be an unsolved crime. With no one to fill out all blank line. John Public a fi here and there. Informer get a poof cough quick. Does he get nervous just like you and I? Watching out if the police pass by. Cause any day you hear a gunman fail, then he's either dead house or jail. What will it cost to make a gunman rich? How many lives before a gunman switch? The truth no wonder you them stop ignore. Said the majority a gunman poor. Oh yeah, oh. Now tell me, is it worth it all? If one done rise, then the next one fall. Tell me, is it worth it all? Those sleepless nights on patrol roll call. Tell me, is it worth it all? One child smile while the next one ball.
Tell me, is it really worth it?
Is it worth it?
Damian Marley, Gunman World, another tune from 2014, our lovely selection in combination with Franco Monital, I have to say, because you know we choose the tune with Franco and me, myself and I.
I wonder what it is.
So Carlo, what are you doing? Are you doing the next mushroom dish?
Yeah, well, I'm getting a bit creative with the mushroom plate. After then you slice with thin slices the mushroom, you place in a plate in this way, you know, you can really get creative and love it, because I guess raw food is not all about the nutrients, which is the main part, but it's also about color, you know, getting close color and making, you know, food in a, as you should say, in a different way, because you maybe never gonna be so full in your belly, but you still, you know, eat a lot and maybe eat in a right way.
So which are the ingredients that goes on the mushroom? Let's see if you remember.
Okay, well, let's try again. Let me move the plate a second. So we have the mushroom, which we place in very nice way in this plate, the shallots, the thyme, the garlic, and the kelp, which is this seaweed. And with some dressing made by white wine vinegar and lemon, of course.
Okay, we already put the thyme on the pepper, so I think we're gonna just put kelp, garlic, white wine vinegar, lemon juice, salt, and olive oil. We can talk about wine if you want, Gigi.
Definitely.
Sorry, last question. This is a very
tricky one.
Have you ever eat for a full day only raw items?
Yes, indeed. I love to eat fruit.
Like one full day, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally, but one full day, like breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Maybe one summer day, one very hot summer day, I've been eating only watermelon and vegetables. Maybe.
And you, Yucca?
Yeah, maybe can happen, you know, in a summer day. I quite like to eat, especially fruit in a summer day and vegetables. So it can happen and I eat fruit and
okay, I didn't answer to all the questions. So my favorite raw veg is onion, which is the veg or fruit that you never eat nothing because I eat everything. And if I ever eat a full day only raw items, yes, I do usually most of the week. So I would have at least twice a day
a raw onion.
Raw ingredient. No, a raw onion, but a raw garlic for sure. We're going to go with the next tune which is from one of our favorite singers, our favorite British singer, which is Gappy Ranks, tune called Carpenter.
You ready for fight? Well, alright. Our worries, Babylon, you catch up in our worries, Babylon deep in our worries, oh my son, the whole of them are go drown. Anyway, carpenter, beg you bill a box. Cause the food them violate, but no me cash them in a the trap. So from the last down to the boss, I feel like down in a that. Them have the people in a bandage, know the system a fist stop. I say carpenter bill, Mr. Babylon a box. I can't take it no more, me not go cool and relax. And poor people, them rising up tax. So I have fire burn everything to the max. Hey yo, you them can't go school because them have to pay the school fees. And father can get the work and they retire in from the factories. Now the youth them end up on the road with the gun them loading and robberies. And you know say one of them could have go to school and become an athlete. But Babylon don't want to get a youth them rise up and make it. That's why them give them the drugs and the guns and them tell them to blaze it. And then them divide the people with black and them white cause them racist. You know see how them lock up the innocent man and free up the rapist. Me not like this. Carpenter, beg you bill a box. Cause the food them violate but no me cash them in a the trap. So from the last down to the boss, I feel like down in a that. Them have the people in a bandage, know the system a fist stop. I say carpenter bill, Mr. Babylon a box. I can't take it no more, me not go cool and relax. And poor people, them rising up tax. So right now, Babylon your system collapse. So I bring up your computer, them where you're using a Wall Street. Cause you never help the poor people, them where have to sleep on the concrete. You never hear Marcus, Malcolm, Mandela, Martin till you stop do it. Poor people are suffer all around the world, not tell me about life sweet, you're mad. Things change for the better, nothing no go saw. Babylon don't want the ghetto youth scraw. Officer, why you stop me, I don't know. Why you put the gun in a me and non-sega? Them thing they are going in a life don't feel say a movie. So the youth them strap in a war with machine and a move unruly. AK-47, Mac 10, 9X19 and Uzi. And if you step on the youth, them boot, then afraid to use it. I tell you, Babylon and you and your friend, them are you cause the problem. Make people dead for the headline news, you know see a false flag them. When election time, them a rise up, cry, make people vote them. Know the rebel, them ready and willing for the killing them, prepare for hold them, and shout them. Carpenter, beg you bill a box. Cause the food them violate, but no me cash them in a the trap. So from the last down to the boss, I feel like down in a that. Them have the people in a bandage, know the system a fist stop. I say carpenter bill, Mr. Babylon a box. I can't take it no more, me not go cool and relax. And poor people, them rising up tax. So I have fire burn everything to the max. Hey yo, you them can't go school because them have to pay the school fees. And father can get the work and they retire in from the factories. Now the youth them
Thing called Carpenter, the singer is Gappy Ranks. You are in tune with FusoRadio.net on the frequency of Reggae Kitchen. We finished the mushroom dish. Gigi, what do you think?
I think they look pretty, they look very colorful, they look pretty, but I'm looking forward for this little dressing sauce. This
Okay, shall we talk about wine?
garnish, yeah, of course, because if you don't have enough to eat with the raw food, you can always do it with the wine. And you can do it either with the Dolcetto, that is a black Italian wine grape variety, widely grown in the Piedmont region of northwest Italy. The Italian word Dolcetto means little sweet one, but it's not certain that the name originally carried any reference to the grape sugar levels. It is possible that it derives from the name of the hills where the vine is cultivated. In any case, the wine produced are nearly always dry. They can be tannic and fruity with moderate or decidedly low levels of acidity, and they are typically meant to be consumed to 1 to 2 years after release. Dolcetto wines are known for the black cherry and licorice with some prune flavors, and their characteristically bitter finish, reminiscent of almonds. While the name implies sweetness, the wines are normally dry. The tannic nature of the grape contributes to the characteristic bitter finish. The dark purple skin of Dolcetto grapes have a high amount of anthocyanins, which require only a short maceration time with
What
the
is
skin.
that?
Anthocyanins.
Okay.
Short maceration time within the skin to produce a dark colored wine. Ribolla gialla, also known as ribolla, in Slovenian is Rumena rebula, is a white Italian wine grape grown most prominently in Friuli Venezia Giulia region in the northeast. So we got northwest and northeast tonight of Italy, of course. The grape is also found in Slovenia, where it's known as rebula. In Friuli, the grape thrives in the region around Rosazzo and Gorizia, where Mighty Dop's grandmother comes from, if I'm not wrong. In Slovenia, the grape is grown prominently in the Brda region. The grape is not related to the Friuli red grape Schioppettino, which is also known as Ribolla Nera, but they are not related. The obscure lower quality Ribolla Verde grape is mutated version that is not widely used. The white wine made from the Ribolla grape is typically a deep-colored, light-bodied wine with high acidity and floral notes. The wine can produce a more New World style with some oak aging. As the wine ages, it can develop some nutty flavors. In Greece, the wine has flinty and lemon notes. In the Friuli, the wine of the southern region have a little more body than the wines of the central regions.
Wow.
Very good, very good.
Yeah,
wines.
I mean, dolcetto in Italian means sweet, but it's got nothing to do with sweet because it's a very body wine. I mean, it's very full and really nice. And people don't really know about dolcetto because it's from my region, and only really southern Piedmontese really know about dolcetto. If you go to Torino, they don't even know what's dolcetto. And Ribolla Gialla is beautiful because it's mixed on the region between Friuli and obviously Dalmatia, which is Gorizia, near Slovenia, which used to be Italy before, but it's an autochthon grape, and it's wonderful, and it's really cheap. Both of the wine, they're like in Italy, they're like €2 a liter, €3 a liter. So
wonderful.
I
Yeah,
have
we
a
recommend
question,
to you.
chef.
Yes,
we recommend to you.
Well, we're talking about raw food, so it's always good a glass of wine. But there is all this story about organic wine, which is basically without sulfates. But do you think there is really a difference between organic wine and normal wine, especially when they come from Italy, France, Spain, or when they come, the place that you're from, then they are kind of genuine?
Well, the difference, first of all, is the soil where they grow the wine, which has been, if it's organic, should be depured. I mean, should be clean for at least 30 years. And then you can grow the wine, and, especially if you grow on a grape which was born in that region, that would be the best. And no sulfite, it's actually the ingredient they use to make the wine last in bottles a lot. And balance all the acidity and all the different enzymes so it doesn't go off. When you don't put it, once you open the bottle, you need to drink it in 2-3 days because the wine will go off and it will change completely how it tastes and how it looks also. Me personally, I don't like sulfite in the wine, but commercial wine and even high level wine has sulfite because that's the essence of the industry, to last the wine so you can drink the same wine that was made in 2014, for example, after 10 years. With the organic wine you can't really do that because also if you make it mature on barrels or bottles, it will not last like other wines. But it's different, the taste is different, and it's more contaminated with air, and so the organic wine can taste in one way one day and then the next day in another way, so you never know. Those ones with sulfite, usually they taste the same, but it depends what you like. What do you think, Gigi?
It's a business standard. I remember in the old days it was much easier to find wine without sulfates. Nowadays it's almost impossible because if you go to supermarket, even top range, they have sulfates.
Yeah, well, nowadays they come back on the this way of thinking about organic and clean and no chemicals, but that bottle can last only a week. That's it. But
Well,
nice,
this is maybe one of the few cases where this concept is not applying.
Well, I'm gonna go with the next tune, and we are almost there. There's really like 15 minutes, and we can start to eat. I'm very, very hungry. Kingston Town, Tojan, one of the female artists we really push this year.
Everybody needs love is all I bring. Just wanted to get to the one and come
mama bay. Easy cruising pon the highway. Call your phone, send me the pon the way. It's been a while, me not see you, baby. Oh boy, me soon reach ya, OJ. Flash it on me, dash it, me a reach, no delay. What a journey for your touch. Can't wait another day. I feel see you in a Kingston town. 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 Yeah. You are the one, you are my lover and my friend. Sure like the seashore, this will never end. The left with your heart, me I bring you back again. Bring you back again, me I bring you back again. You alone, me met this driver. Driver, make sure you reach on time. Over hills and valleys, me a hey. You feel ready when me reach in a Kingston town. Kingston town. Kingston town.
Kingston Town, sings by Toja, one of the female artists that we really pushed this year. You are in tune with fusoradio.net. Thank you very much. Don't burn the plastic. And you are on the frequency of Reggae Kitchen. We are cooking really nice raw stuff, mainly vegetable, thanks to our yucca, which turned vegan lately. And what are you doing now?
Look at that.
Look at that. Maybe the most exciting moment of the show when we're doing this company, this dressing. Look out, is maybe you don't understand this, but from this Reggae Kitchen, the message is then we're gonna cook very simple food, but it's all original recipe made by our chef behind the scene. So this is the main ingredient, the saffron. We're gonna put in this side dish for both salad or side dressing, as you want to call, which is made by shallots, by spring onion, cut as well in a particular way, saffron, this fantastic volcano salt, which is black salt with red chili, and that's it.
Be generous, yucca, with that saffron.
Which is the other spice you're gonna use on the dressing?
Well, the two spices are the saffron and the chili, and then we're gonna put the olive oil.
What kind of chili is it? It looks a bit strange to me.
Well, it's quite well. I recently been to Iceland. That's why tonight you're tasting this kelp and this salt. But I think it's the dry chili, like that one that we use in Italy, which is maybe not the strongest one, or like Scotch bonnet or this one. But it still has got the flavor when you let him dry, which is quite, giving like a proper chili flavor, to be like spicy but not too full of chili. Very different from Mexican.
Very nice, very nice. I'm really looking forward. So Franco Monitor on the control tower. We're gonna play another tune, and then we're gonna go with our lovely early B
and tasting.
This is one of the tunes that I really like. It's a big combination: Stephen Marley, Capleton, and Sizzla, which is one of my favorite artists. And listen to the tune, and then we see on the other side.
Rockstar was my pillow. Rockstar was my pillow. Rockstar was my pillow. I said, Rockstar was my pillow. Rockstar was my pillow.
Yeah, the man say, Rockstone was my pillar, could not find place for sleep. But them empty, we have to find food for eat. Every day we terrorize by soldiers and police. When they think them a strong man, they think them a dead. From them a play cowboy and Indian and chief. From the first to the third straight up the 7th street. One thing in our mind, I feel jump to the base. I make it in a life, I inherit all the means. Them pay off, self-employed, cannot get laid off. But the work me have, can't even get a day off. Who do want to stop me now, them find out, say them way off. Alright, so me say one by one, one by one, one by one. We stepping out of Babylon, and then one by one, one by one. You king fella say I the conquering lion, lion, lion.
Rockstar was my pillow. Rockstar was my
lunch. Steve Raga, Marley. Help us now, take us from the slum. Never give up, matter what's little by your bun. Hey, Rasta, take us from the slum. Never give up, matter what King Selassie I bless to go. Separation is a thing, could be no harder time. Got to widen your views, gotta broaden your mind. What we find in they can't know where rest cannot find. Hunger, poverty, a system so unkind. As a matter of fact, there is an aftershock. When come ground us, my bed and my pillow was a rock. Try to make it through the system, all the doors were locked. Yeah, nothing new to try, and so I ain't gonna stop. All the time they write a book on you. All sorts of other crap they would have put on you. Yet when you're in there, they would look on you. They would only stand and wanna wear the foot on you. But so see I know, Zion now, Ethiopia, Africa, fashion, liberate the poor, hey, man I lie to me, yes, Selassie, I them want to war, right? Read the Bible, turn to peace and praise the right. Goodbye, Babylon, goodbye, goodbye. Open up, Zion door, Mount Zion, Ethiopia for sure. Children of Israel, children of Israel. Hey.
Rockstone was my pillow.
Rockstone was my pillow. Stephen Marley featuring Capital and Sizzler. I love this tune, Gigi. I love this tune.
Very nice tune.
Anyway, you are in tune with Fusorati.net and in tune with Reggae Kitchen. We cook, actually we didn't cook all raw food tonight. Please, can you explain what we just did? Because
Indeed,
yes.
because it's ready. So we're gonna have two salads. The first salad made by pepper with celery, shallots, garlic. We put by mistake some thyme and dressed by balsamic vinegar, oil and pepper. The second one is raw mushroom salad with some kelp, oil and salt of course, and lemon of course, and then we put some shallots and a bit of garlic, and this is the companion or the main dressing, as you want to call condiments, yeah, exactly, which is made by shallots. No shallots. Yes, shallots, spring onions. Then we put some black salt and chili.
It's not very sure.
It's dried chili. Then we put some saffron, main ingredients, and quite a lot of olive oil. Actually, my grandmother olive oil.
Yes, I would like to point out that we are Italians and we actually swim in olive oil every day. And it's very healthy, and especially for the down parts.
And especially if you
why
eat it
the
raw.
Italian
And it's the
lovers-
secret food that makes you feel good of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Olive oil, extra
Well, you
virgin.
see, a good example of this episode of Reggae Kitchen, it could be the olive oil. You know, we love olive oil, but same thing. See, if you eat raw, it can make you so much benefit, because when you're cooking, you lose it sometimes. You know, not all lose all the nutrients, but also other properties.
In fact, there's a bit of a debate on this, which is true that, you know, when you do everything raw, all the succulent and all the nutritious and all the full effect and the intensity of the ingredients stays with ingredients. But if you know, like the Asian, you know, I could mention the Chinese, the Japanese, even the Indian from India, Sri Lanka. They cook with a very high temperature, yeah, with a very high heat, high fire, and they just quickly cook it. But literally, especially the Chinese, with 1 minute, 2 minutes, and everything is crunchy and everything stays in. When things stays out, I mean, when the nutritious parts goes away, when you overcook it or when you cook it for a very long time. But then when you cook it for a very long time with other ingredients, the intensity of different ingredients melts together and makes the dish. That's why it's so difficult to cook, because everybody knows how to cut, everybody knows how to simmer, fry, pan fry, roast, But when you do everything together, you never know how it's gonna come out. Only when you know and you have the knowledge, before you start that you already fucked up the dish. That's what I want to say tonight for the last episode of Reggae Kitchen.
A message of hope for you all. Don't be afraid of overcooking.
And obviously, I'm gonna play the last tune, which is our, famous friend. Early B.
A clean heart and a clean mind is important to everyone.
A clean heart and a clean mind is important to everyone.
So mind what you eat.
With a empty belly, you can really go long,
I know any kind of food that
So we're gonna taste this or what?
Yes, exactly. I was asking my assistant.
You got 3 minutes,
today, to pass me a plate and a spoon and maybe a fork. Or maybe just a fork.
Just give me the plate, man.
It's coming.
No, yeah. Okay. Tonight full service, one plate each. Before, all this season we were eating from the same plate because we are brothers. So, we don't worry about herpes, and anyway you can use Dovirax, which is a very useful.
I'm gonna put the sauce on the side, yeah, right?
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
And you, chef, is gonna be obviously the first to taste.
Let's see how my.
Oh, thank you, Yucca.
Let's see how my boys did the dish. Yeah.
Next one.
You can talk while I'm eating, Gigi.
That's the
you
plate
can thank
for me.
all the viewers.
Yeah, Gigi is
you.
craving.
Thank you all. Thank you all for the listeners who listen to Reggae Kitchen. Of course, we have more coming up next year for the Fuso Radio.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course. Brixton Talks already another season is gone as well. If you want to check it on on fusoradio.net, and we had a radio show on the same website, Reggae Espresso.
Ready
Very
for
nice
you.
and noticeable.
Yeah, man.
Well, the chef is eating like he's craving. I know it's late in the night and we didn't eat, but
It's good, it's nice. Everything is crunchy, everything is well seasoned. You can eat by itself or all together by distinctive flavors, and it depends. If you don't like raw spring onion and shallots, you can blanch them a touch because they'll be pungent, but I love it.
It is really nice and crunchy, very summery, a very appropriate dish for the season, the hot season. You have just some raw vegetables and lots of onion. You cannot have enough onion, of course. Yucca, thank you very much for cooking tonight. Thank you, chef.
you're welcome as well. And remember that sometimes it's better not to cook, I should say.
Yeah, I think this is the last message that we can give. We have like 15 seconds. Did you like Reggae Kitchen, Gigi?
Very much.
All the 8 episodes?
All of them, all the dishes. I'm still chewing.
And you?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I want to say thanks to Franco Monitor, thanks to our listeners, thanks to our viewers, thanks to fusoradio.net and all the pretty women and pretty boys that work
Un saluto al direttore.
Un saluto al direttore, mannaggia!
Anything out of sea, the scale for me. Any kind of food that we eat. I know any kind of food that we eat. Doctor on them